actually, it's kind of like authentic movement dance, like that dance
Yeah.
technique where you're so close that your bodies mesh and move together. I think I
Like
hadn't thought about it.
contact-
Yeah,
yeah,
contact
contact
improv.
improv.
Contact improv. It's
Yeah.
like sexy contact improv because I really do.
Sexy contact improv.
I really do and envelop their bodies to see how their bodies move and work to see how we can move together.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, another one I have on the list here is drip with pleasure.
Oh, I love BDSM.
Intro to wax play.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love. So I'm a kinkster. I used to say I was a switch. I still am, but I'm more dominant than not. And I love sensation play. I love impact play, and I love temperature play. And so wax is a type of temperature play, and it's so artistic. I love art a lot, and
Yeah, it's very visual. You're kind of creating a whole piece. You're creating.
it's
Yeah.
it's a
It's like a performance art.
it is.
So you're doing this performative act and creating this.
And it's very artistic, and both of you, both the person doing it and the person receiving, and I use ice too within the wax play.
Oh wow!
So like
real temperature range.
it is a temperature range, right? And it
Yes.
all and I teach about like the kind of wax that you use and how to warm it up and how high or how low. So the safety of using wax, right?
Yep.
And different colors.
Because wax can burn you.
Wax can burn you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on how hot it is,
Yeah.
right? And where you're dripping it from, and it doesn't only have to be in a candle. You can just warm up the wax because we can't do open flame in a cruise, so we have to with hot pots. We get very creative.
Yes.
And you warm the wax up, and then and yeah, so it's a very introductory, sensual. It has to be like very sensual for people.
So do you have like wax that kind of melts at a lower temperature? I know there's a range.
There's
of
a
like
range, yeah.
Some can be kind of just warm wax, not hot wax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the temperature varies, right? Depending on what temperature you want to warm it up, and also the height of where you pour the wax, right?
Wow.
So because if you from higher, then it's a little
cools
bit
down on the
cools
way.
down on the way. So it depends on where you drop it, right? And where in the body, right? There are going to be more areas that are going to be more sensitive to the different temperature, right? What you are doing in reality, apart from creating a beautiful art piece, is experiencing heightened sensations of temperature as you get the hot wax, when it's warm, when it's getting cooler in your body, when
You've got the ice on you.
when you've got the ice on top of the wax. So let's say that the wax is starting to harden and you put ice on top of the wax, and you're pouring hot wax in other parts of your body at the same time.
Wow.
For me, I love music, and so instead of calling it impact play, I call it percussion play. Right?
I saw that. Yeah. I was like, is it impact? Yeah. What is this percussion business? Okay.
So
So you have the auditory.
I'm telling you, I'm very
happening.
sensual, and it's for me the percussion is the body is a beautiful musical instrument. And percussion play, if you call it percussion, allows you to get into that mindset where you're creating different sounds in the body that you're impacting with different implements.
That's very interesting you say that, because recently I saw a scene happening at Oasis, actually, in which one of the people that performs at Oasis a lot, Sporty in Charge, always does a scene, or a lot of times does a scene to music and does impact along with the beat of the music. And I'm like, oh, this is bringing it to a whole other level, like than just a regular kind of impact scene. It's like, oh my, this is like a musical performance right now. It's so interesting.
It is. And now bring in temperature play.
Oh boy.
Right?
So many things happening at once.
Right? Or the dripping of the wax. I forgot the word. It escapes my mind. But there are people that through sounds can look at color. Right? When there's sounds, right?
Right.
And so when I was thinking about this drip with pleasure, I was thinking about how when you're dripping and creating that work of art, it's like a concert, right? Because a concert,
God.
an orchestra, usually you get the climax, you get the crescendo, you get the and like as you're pouring the wax, if you imagine that each sound has a color, you're creating an orchestra with the dripping of the wax, the colors, the ice, the different,
God.
yeah, the different temperatures.
A full like sensory experience.
Yeah, that's what I try in my. So that's the drip That's the wax play
Oh
one.
my good God.
And the safety, talking about safety, and like just a lot of people think that BDSM, especially with that horrible movie 50 Shades, is about pain, right?
Yes.
And what I tell them, for some people, it can.
It can be.
It can be, and that's great.
But
you know, but for me, and pain is just one of the different sensations. Yeah. It's about heightened sensations.
Yeah, there's so many other different sensations.
Yeah, you're heightening the sensations of the body, and that can be either through temperature play or through percussion. So that's what I usually try to talk about whenever I'm doing BDSM workshops.
Okay, I think we probably have time for one more.
Choose.
Oh my God. Okay, I know this may be a big topic to cover in a few minutes, but
I'll come back.
Just to give us, there you go. That's the attitude. How sex works, the science behind fucking.
Oh, that's one of the free seminars. So
great.
Like I usually, the hands-on workshops are usually pay because I'm touching people,
right.
And then the seminars, the lecture ones, when I'm in the cruise and the conventions, are usually free. There was a great book that really, really, really impacted me. Emily Nagoski's "Come as You Are."
Yes.
You know, and she uses a lot of science behind arousal and desire and things that are big topics explained to us in a way that this is the way your body works, this is the way your brain works, this is the way that psychology works. So the science behind fucking is very influenced by that book. Also, the book on female arousal. The anatomy is so unsexy the way they teach it.
Yes.
And they're
not pleasure based,
and not
as
pleasurable,
you mentioned before.
and like science is the same way. But the thing is that our bodies are amazing, amazing, amazing machines. And so are our emotions. And so the science behind fucking is about making science sexy and bringing in facts and evidence-based research.
This is for the real sex geeks in the house.
Well, actually, no, because it's for everybody. It's talking about science in a very sexy way and explaining the way our bodies work so that you can take that information, apply it to your own sex lives, and really start learning about the way that you can create the cacophony of sounds and sensations by knowing. You can't.
What's under it?
Yeah, it's like the music theory behind the music, right? The science behind fucking is kind of like the theory behind what you're going to be doing.
Right, because I'm sure there's science behind pleasure.
Yeah,
right?
There totally is.
Yeah.
There totally is.
They're totally linked.
They're totally
Can't have
linked.
one without the other. It's all...
Yeah. So this is something I read. I learned from Reid Mihalko, and this is part of what goes in like the science behind fucking. So if we breathe in and then we exhale like that, it has like... It stimulates our vagus nerve, right?
Okay.
And our vagus nerve has two functions. It either reduces cortisol levels, so it reduces the stress, right? And or it activates orgasm. So the vagus nerve is the one that activates orgasms.
Is that why we like just huff around when we're stressed? Because we're trying to just activate that stress releasing just by going,
or right? And that's why we moan, and that's what and people don't know this. It's like, and then the science behind fucking, we understand vagus nerve, and we understand how our bodies work, and we understand that moaning is good, and that when we silence our moaning,
God.
Yeah, the science behind fucking.
It's like blowing my mind that's what it's doing. Like, because we think of moaning and heavy breathing as like just a communication of the pleasure we're receiving.
And it is. That's one of the things that we're doing. We're communicating, but also we're triggering the vagus nerve.
Scientifically, what is happening.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. And so when we do breathe heavy like that, or we do have big loud sighs and things, what is that vagus nerve doing exactly? Is it releasing?
It doesn't release, but nerves, what they do is they communicate with our brains, right? It's like,
okay, so vagus nerve. So the nerve is,
so it's like it's low on our spine. So it's like it's transmitting, it's telling the brain, okay, get ready, this is what you need to do. Relax and orgasm.
Enjoy the ride.
Baby. So like that's why you have erogenous zones, what they are clusters of nerve endings. right? And nerve endings are the ones that transmit sensation or transmit messages to our brain, like, ooh, hot, or ooh, nice, or ooh, painful, or, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what nerve endings do. And that's why for somebody, it could be really pleasurable. You know, they have a cluster of nerve endings in their palm, or they have a cluster of nerve endings in their clit, or in their nipples, or in their ears. I don't know, wherever. Everywhere. But, like, that cluster of nerve endings becomes the erogenous zone. Well, the vagus nerve also transmits messages to our brain. It's like the connectors. And so it's a transmitting message.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. I hate that we have to wrap this up already. I feel like there's so much. We got to have you back.
I will come and come and come
again
and
again
and as many times as you want to have me here.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Den. Are you able to tell the people where your fabulous website is that I was gushing all about?
Yeah,
that there's so many things and all your other kind of social media stuff that where people can find you, follow you.
I don't know. People have told me to do that, and I don't do that very well. Website Sexplore, SEXPLORE. So just as you like to explore, we like to sexplore. So it's Sexplore with Dan Temin. So DENTEMIN.com. So sexplorewithdantemin.com, and you can find all the info there.
Oh, you almost said .com.
It is a .com.
It is a .com. Oh my God. Let me think of the things, that I need to tell everyone about. If you are in Toronto, and just like Den did, if you want to see a Bedfo stage show, we do it the third Friday of every month at 8 p.m. at the Social Capital Theater, and then the last Tuesday of every month at 9 p.m. at the Super Wonder, which is the one you can go see. And you were there with Trevor from Provocateur Images. If you are listening and watching us on YouTube right now, comment, share it around, subscribe. Same with if you're listening to us on iTunes or another podcasting app, to subscribe, to leave a comment, leave a rating and review does really great things for me and my business, Bedpost. We want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the folks at the Pacific Junction Hotel, to Eggplant Media, and to the Sonar Network, which is all three of these places are responsible and helpful towards us creating this great content that you're indulging in right now.
It's amazing. This is a pleasure revolution as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One last thing, if you're listening to our audio version, you're going to hear original music by Stephanie Copeland, and you can see all of her work at stephcopelandmusic.com. One more big thank you to board certified sexologist Den Temin.
And that's the way of saying yes in sign language.
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who is listening and watching today. We will see you next week. Bye.